So finding a comfortable seat that might be elevated up on the hips, hands on the knees. You're going to spread your fingers like lion's claws. Arms are straight, sitting up straight, drop the tailbone. So we'll be taking a deep inhale through the nose and then looking up at the third eye, crossing the eyes, and then letting the tongue hang out as we sigh it out. Deep inhale. 3 more. And close your eyes and flip your palms up. Take a few normal breaths. Observe your brow. Open up your eyes. And we'll come to tabletop. We're going to keep the toes curled under today. We're going to stretch through the arches of the feet. We'll invite you to turn your hands out 90 degrees or maybe more if you'd like to stretch the wrists. Make sure that the hands are still shoulder width. They tend to come a little bit closer when we turn them in, or out, excuse me. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, shoulders back. Exhale, round it out, chin to chest. Look at the belly button, drop the head. Inhale. Exhale, round the back evenly. Inhale. And again, a couple more. Last one each way. Bring it back to neutral. Have a seat back on the heels. Bring your knees and your feet together. And you can keep your hands on the floor if this is a little intense for you. It's not surprising. It's called broken toe pose. If you want to reach back and pull that pinky toe forward, if it hasn't joined its sisters or brothers, you can stay here or sit all the way up. Find your happy place here. Close your eyes or fix your gaze. Notice your body. Notice what is clenching and tensing, and consciously release it. Make sure you're not arching the low back. Two more. Draw energy up from the root to the top of the head. And then gently release your hands forward. Ooh, you can uncurl those toes and smack them on the floor a little bit. We'll take a counter stretch in the ankles. So again, sit back on the heels. Maybe this is plenty, or maybe you want to bring your hands behind you. If you bring your hands behind you, you might want to lift your pelvis, point your tailbone forward, create a little more space there. You can keep your hips lifted or set them down, whichever feels best to you. Lift the heart. And then there's another option here. If your hips are on your heels, you can bend the elbows and then lift the knees up off the mat. So a deeper stretch in the ankles here. Make sure you're not hunching into the shoulders and neck. And then from here, maybe you want to practice balancing. Hands to the thighs. Hands to the heart. Use the core to pull those knees up. Feel your tailbone soften down towards the heels. Two more. Good, and gently release. We're going to come back to a tabletop and stretch the right leg back. Whew, and roll that ankle. Another direction. Good, and point and flex. Stretch your left hand forward for a little more challenge here. Puff the low back out. Make sure it's not arching. Still pointing and flexing. And then hold steady, stretch in 2 directions. And then gently release. Let's take a little more cat and cow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the back evenly. Couple more. Back to neutral. And then take your left foot back. Roll the ankle. Other direction. Pull the belly in, support that low back. And then point and flex. If you feel ready, stretch that right hand forward. And check in with the low back and hip connection. Mindful breathing. And then stretch in 2 directions. Pull the navel in tighter. And then gently release. Cat and cow. Round back evenly. Back to neutral. Curl the toes under and step the hands forward just about palm's length and press back to down dog. Pedal out those knees. Shake out your head. Fingers spread, checking with the knuckle below the index and the thumb, ground it firmly. And then come forward to plank. Drop down to your forearms. Stretch the heels back. Pull the navel in, activate move under the pelvic floor. So as the heels stretch back, we're going to traction the body by pulling the rib cage forward and lengthening through the sides of the waist. And then we really get into Uddiyana Bandha. Relax your mouth. The head is level with the spine. 2 more. Again, stretch the heels back, heart forward, belly in. And then gently release your knees, release your hips. Slide your elbows forward a little bit, make sure they're underneath the shoulders or maybe ahead of them. Uncurl the toes, pull the belly in, and then drag your heart forward, shoulders back. It's a back bend, so keep your navel in. Point your tailbone towards your heels. Relax your legs. Just keep it in the upper body. Rotate the 4th and 5th toes down towards the mat. One more. Stretch your hands forward. And let your head drop. Stretch your hands forward a little bit more. Now activate the pelvic floor. Pull the navel in. Rotate those 4th and 5th toes down. And then on an inhale, lift everything up. Mindful breathing, soften the neck, shoulders. Feel that arc of the spine from the toes to the fingers. 2 more. And then gently release. And press back to child's pose, knees wide. And just relax here. More deep breaths. And then we'll make our way back to tabletop. Step the hands forward about a palm's length. Puff that low back out. And then curl the toes under, down dog. Push the floor away, stretch the back. Let's bend the knees deeply to feel it a little bit more in our back. Push the floor away, stretch through the sides of the waist. Now look at your belly button. This stabilizes the spine. And then hug the shoulders in, or the triceps in, excuse me. Now, as you feel comfortable, you can start to straighten your legs, but don't let your shoulders come forward. If your shoulders come forward, then just keep your knees bent. One more breath. Keep looking at that belly button. You've got all three bandhas engaged: Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Juladhara. Looking forward between the hands, inhale, bend knees. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat, taking your feet hip-width distance. Bend your knees, hang heavy in ragdoll. Shake your head. Maybe sway your body. Hands to elbows if you like. Shift your weight forward just a little bit. Let the upper body pour forward out of the pelvis. And then as you start to feel comfortable, you can begin to straighten the legs, pushing the feet into the mat and apart. So notice how your weight has come back. Bend your knees again, right? See how the spine lets go? Now shift your weight forward a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Now start to straighten your legs. But if your body starts to come up, then just stay where you are. You want to see my hand? Yeah, the weight is here. Two more breaths. Release your hands. And keep that pressure of the feet into the mat. You want to feel your hamstrings engaged, almost as if you were trying to push the mat apart. And then pull your belly in, come halfway up with a nice flat back. Point your tailbone behind you. Exhale, fold. Good. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. So make sure that you're not pushing into the legs with the hands. Inhale. Exhale, fold. You want to keep the weight forward into the front part of the foot. Inhale. Exhale. While keeping the heels down at the same time. Inhale. Exhale. And then sink your hips. Ardha Navasana, reaching forward. Half chair. Spine is parallel to the floor, belly on the thighs. Hips long. Good, and then sweep your hands back, clasp them, squeeze your shoulder blades together, keep your elbows bent, and then press the arms up and over without straightening the arms. You can let your palms break if you like, but focus on the shoulders, don't focus on straightening the arms. Again, drawing the shoulder blades together and down the back, the neck is long. Release your hands, come all the way up to chair pose. Nice long spine. Don't worry about getting low right now. Just focus on that stretching in 2 directions. So the weight is in the heels. Tailbone drops, waist lengthens. Find Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Shoulders back. So Liz, your back is a little bit over-rounded. So yeah, there you go, good. Sinking down a little bit deeper, stretching the fingers a little bit higher, feel that spine traction. And then release, come all the way up. Woo, step your feet together, arms at your sides, Tadasana. Fixing your gaze or closing your eyes, flare the toes, root the feet. Planting the toes back down without gripping. Activate the legs, get nice and tall. Mouth relaxed, shoulders back. Inhale, take the arms up. And then exhale, bring your right knee in to your chest. Interlacing the fingers just below the knee. Standing up nice and tall. Foot is flexed. So let's focus on that standing leg. We want the knee to be straight. We want the leg to be straight without the knee being hyperextended. So to get that, we're going to draw the kneecap up, suck the quadriceps up into that hip socket, tone the glutes, and then shift your weight forward just a little bit. Then get a little taller through the spine. Grab a hold of your ankle with your right hand as you bring your left hand to your hip. And just hold the ankle here. Stand up tall. So don't let the leg drag your shoulder down. Good, now you can stay here holding the ankle, or the foot stays above the knee. So hold the ankle if you need to. You can bring one or both hands to the heart. Push that knee towards the back of the room. Stand up a little taller. And when you're ready, take your hands up, stretching out the waist. Two more. And then release, Tadasana. Just take a few moments here. Observe the sides of your body. Yeah. Other side. We're going to take the arms up, lift that left knee up, and scoop it up. Keep the left foot flexed. Now again, we want to draw the right knee up, activate the quads, tone the glutes, and shift the weight forward just a little bit. So really turning the leg on, shoulders back, check the breath. And then right hand to hip, we're going to grab that ankle and pull it in, stand up tall. Again, check in with the standing leg, shifting your weight forward, growing through the spine. Then you can stay here or plant the foot above the knee. Hands to the heart, one or both. When you're ready, take your hands up. Stretch up. Check in with that standing foot again. Pressing the left knee back. And then with control, release, Tadasana. Eagle pose. And then bend knees. And then take that right leg way up on top of the left. Single or double wrap. Right arm under the left. Single or double wrap. And sinking down, hips stay squared to the front. Deep breaths. So pressing the elbows is going to, pressing the elbows down into the chest is going to stretch your upper traps. Lifting the elbows up is going to stretch the rhomboids between your shoulder blades. Take a couple more breaths. Squeeze those legs, sink down a little bit lower. moves down towards the Achilles. Left arm under right, single or double wrap. Keep your hips squared to the front. Sinking down, squeezing legs, and take the same stretch that you did on the other side. Find that purposeful breath. And gently release. Inhale, and exhale, Tadasana. Step your feet hip width distance. And then we're going to turn to the side and pivot on the heel. So you want to lift the heel as you turn to the side to protect the knee. And then we're just going to take it side to side. Shake those arms out. The kidneys get a little tap. The solar plexus gets a little tap. Slowly coming back to center. And then we'll keep the feet hip width distance. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive forward, bend the knees. Slide the hands underneath the feet. Shift your weight forward a little bit. Send those inner thighs back. So make sure that your heels are turned out, not a lot, but the outside edges of your feet are parallel with the outside edges of the mat. Shift your weight forward again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold it. Elbows go out to the sides. Shoulders stay out of the ears. Press down into the mound below the big toe. You should be stepping on your whole hand. Toes at the wrists. One more. And release. Step your right foot back. Drop your knee. Bring your hands to your thigh. Good. You're going to peel the belly away from the thigh and then press your hips forward. Oh. Shoulders back. If you want a little bit more, you take your right hand up. Stretch down in the waist. If you want more, you bend that elbow and pull the elbow in for a tricep stretch. Maybe go for the grip. A nice even breath, belly in. If you want a little more, you lean over to the left, and you can do that whether you've got the grip or not, stretching out of that right waist. Two more. Pull the front foot back to stabilize the pelvis. And then gently release your hands down to the mat. You can use blocks here. It can be helpful if you have really tight hamstrings. So hands are framing the foot. And send the hips back as you straighten the front leg. Flex the foot, rocking onto the heel. Inhale, lengthen. So we don't want to go all the way back. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding over that leg. Ben, you want another block? Send the heart forward, lengthen out of the low back. There you go, nice adjustments. Shift your hips forward and then scoot that front foot out. Bring your hands inside of your foot. And blocks can be helpful here too if you want to go down to your forearms, but it's still a little challenging for you. Left toes turn out, maybe about 30 degrees. The left knee turns out with it. Hips press forward, heart forward. There you go, finding that stretch across the right hip. Now you can stay here or come down under your forearms. That might be on the blocks, it might be on the floor, or not at all. But keep sending your heart forward. You got to stretch out of that low back. Keep the sides of the waist long. Relax your mouth. Fix your gaze. or close your eyes. 3 more. And gently release. Make your way back to child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touching. Relax. More. And make your way to tabletop. Step your hands forward about palms length, curl the toes under, down dog. Stretch it out, stretch the back, feel the spot behind your heart. Breathe into that space. Keep your triceps hugged in. Gaze at the belly button. And look between the hands. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, step up forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. Drop your knee. Hands to the thigh, lower the belly away from the thigh. And then sending the hips forward, feeling the stretch across the left hip, but make sure that your front knee is stacked over your heel, so your shin is vertical. But you want to send your hips forward, so if that means you have to scoot your foot forward a little bit to keep that alignment, that's fine. Shoulders back, and then take the same variation that you did on the other side. Feel that front foot pushing down and pulling back energetically. You want the right heel and the left knee squeezing together. Lift the heart. Press the ribs back. And one more. And with control, coming back to center, releasing your hands down. Sending the hips back. Again, blocks can be helpful underneath these hands. Rock back onto the right heel, flex the foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the chest. And then hinge at the hips. Exhale, fold, let your head drop, but continue to lengthen the heart forward. Squeezing the right heel and left knee together. Navel in. One more. And gently release. Coming forward, scoot the right foot out. Hands inside the foot. So the right toes, right knee turn out about 30 degrees. Hands walk forward. Hips forward. Heart forward. You can stay up tall or come down onto your forearms. Use the blocks to mediate that space. Continue to send the heart forward, so no hunching. Keep the waist long. 3 more breaths. You're doing awesome. Looking good, everybody. One more. Gently release. press back onto our knees and come up to kneeling. Curling the toes under. Good. Bring your hands to your hips and just feel how the pelvis can tip forward and the tailbone sticks back, or the top of the pelvis can tip back and the tailbone starts to point down. This is the position that we want to be in without dumping into the low back. So we want to lift up and out of that space. Bring the hands to your back pockets. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the elbows together and start to look up. Again, lift out of the chest. And then press your hips forward as you take your gaze up and back. It doesn't have to be the deepest back bend. It should feel good. You should feel strong. Keep squeezing elbows together, pulling the belly in. Again, point your tailbone down without squeezing the butt. Your hands should be able to feel your glutes and know if they're clenching, so soften them. Then lift again, inhale. And then with control, head comes up last. Woo. And take it back to child's pose. Knees wide, hands stretch forward. And roll the head out. Make your way forward onto your belly. And come into that Sphinx again on forearms. So slide your elbows forward until they're under or in front of your shoulders. And then pull in the belly in, sliding the shoulders back. Imagine you would drag your whole body forward across the floor. Keep the neck long. Good. From here, keep that action, that strength in the back. And then bend your right knee. Right hand reaches back and grabs the outside of the foot. Good, and then keep the belly in, keep dragging the heart forward. And then kick the foot into the hand, other one is in. So you're pulling the heart forward. You're lifting your right thigh up off the floor as best you can. Opening up the chest. So your right arm should be straight. You're kicking the foot into the hand. Good. Now if you want a little bit more, you lift your left leg up and stretch your left hand forward. Lift the gaze. 2 more breaths. And then gently release. Left ear to the mat. Both arms at your sides, palms up, legs straight. You can shake those hips out a little bit. And just relax for a few breaths. Other side. Up to Sphinx. Pulling your heart forward, so feel that traction. Good. From here, keep that action in the back and in the core. Bend your left knee. Reach back, grab the outside edge of the ankle with the foot. Keep pulling your heart forward. And square those shoulders off. And then we'll kick into the hand so the thigh starts to lift up off the floor. You want to move from the hip, not from the knee. And if you want a little bit more, you stretch that right hand up, right leg back and up. Good. Keep lifting, keep lengthening, keep breathing, keep kicking. And then slowly, with control, release. Turn the right ear to the mat. Relax your arms at your sides, palms up, heels out. Let's try that on both sides, shall we? So I'm going to offer a modification first. If you're having a hard time reaching your ankles, let's interlace the fingers, zip up the legs, and turn your 4th and 5th toes down towards the mat, but keep your big toes touching. Now point your tailbone behind you, pull your belly in, and lift everything up. And nice deep breaths. So legs up, chest up, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Now you can stay right here, or bend the knees, grab the outside edges of the ankles, and then kick those legs into the arms, lifting the gaze, belly in. Keep that breath going. One more. And gently release. Ooh, left ear to the mat, relax. You can shake those hips from right to left to release the back. Good, and then gently release. Press back to child's pose and knees wide. And grab some water if you need it. Make your way onto your seat bones. Cross your right shin in front of your left, or stack your right knee on top of your left. And remember, what might not work with your seat bones on the floor might work with the block underneath you, just to have more space there. So try the block, see if it helps you out. If not, just do your best. Arms up. Drop the right hand out to the side. Walk it away from the body. Start to bend the right elbow. So keep that right shoulder down away from the ear. And then let's stretch up. And then continue to move all the way over. Bending that right elbow even more. Keeping the shoulder out of the ear. And start to look up. Sweep that arm back. If that bothers the neck, then you can just look down. You can bring that right elbow down to the mat if it's possible. And then with control, coming on up. We'll just walk those hands forward and fold in. Relax. One more. Rolling up. And then we'll stretch the arms up and twist to our right. Rooting down into the seat bones. Pull the belly in, shoulders down. Taking the gaze all the way to the right. Eyeballs all the way to the right, stretching those muscles too. Release back to center. We'll take the hands back, the feet forward, and just gently take the knees from side to side. Massage that piriformis. Switch sides, so left leg is in front or on top, depending on which variation you're taking. And don't be shy about that block. Sitting up nice and straight. And then we'll stretch the left hand out to the side. Reach the right hand up. And don't be in a hurry. Lift and lengthen. And then walking the left hand out. Bend the left elbow to keep that left shoulder down. Keep bending. We'll come about just a little bit in. Lift up, stretch out of the waist. And then continue bringing it down. Oh, keep that left shoulder down out of the ear. Back to the elbow if possible. Deep breaths. Look up if possible. Without pain, that is. One more. And with control, coming up. Ooh, we'll take both arms up. And fold in. Relax your arms. One more. And come up. Stretch the arms up, inhale. Twist to your left, exhale. Navel to spine, shoulders down, mouth relaxed. Turn the head to the left, eyes all the way to the left. Stretch and breathe mindfully. One more. And gently release. Back to center, hands back, feet forward. And taking side to side. So as you take the knees to one side, kind of take the heart to the other side. Keep the chest open. Stretch the shoulders a little bit. Back to center. Feet together, knees apart. Slide the heels in. And we're going to open the feet like a book and push the outer edges of the feet together as we sit up straight. Again, push the outside edges of the feet together. Pull the navel in. So make sure that you're not letting your root go. When we open the knees wide, we tend to just let our pelvic floor go. So keep that action. And then with a straight spine, you can bring yourself in just a little breath, one breath at a time. Don't be in a rush. Feel it out. Keeping the spine straight. Trying not to round the shoulders. Keep pushing the outside edges of the feet together. We'll come on up, we'll come onto our backs. And then send your left leg forward, pull your right knee in. And just hug it around the rib cage towards the shoulder. Send the legs straight up. Flex both feet. Now you're welcome to relax here in just an easy hamstring opener. I'm going to offer you some other choices. You can also bind the big toe with the peace fingers of the right hand. And then do a little sit up as you reach your left hand forward and pull the right leg in and hover the left leg. So your right arm is stretching that right leg in deeper. Your core is working as you stretch the left hand forward. We'll take a few more breaths. bend your right knee, scoop it up. So still do that little sit up. Scoop up your shin. Flex your right foot to protect the knee. And then you can bring your hands into prayer. And bring your chest and your shin a little closer together. You can take a couple breaths here to let the body adjust. And then when you're ready, let your head drop back, either onto the floor or maybe up off. Loosen your grip if you need to. Don't force it. It should feel good. A good hurt. That's as far as we want to go. So if your face is crunching up, then that's feedback from your body. Be aware. One more. Good, and then relax and interlace the fingers on the pinky edge of the foot. So we're kind of taking a different variation. It's kind of halfway between happy baby and half pigeon. You're going to bring the foot over the head. So this gets into the IT band a little bit more. Maybe feel it in the inner hip as well. So opening up the knee joint. Whew. And then you can stay here, or you do a little sit up and start to bring your head closer to your foot and your foot closer to your head. Maybe on top of your head. You want to relax your left foot down. From here, the right arm starts to work underneath the leg, eventually working towards getting that foot behind your head. Ooh, yeah, a little too tight for that today. Right hand to the heart. Keep breathing. So make sure that if you're working towards this contact with foot and head, that you're not straining from the neck. You're moving from the spine. So pull your belly in. Press your low back into the floor as you lift your core a little higher. That's where you want to find that roundness. Push the arm into the leg to open the hip up even more. And then gently release. Ooh. So grab a hold of the back of the thigh with the right hand, or the outside edge of the right foot, and come into half happy baby. Deep breaths. Good. You might have to hold on to your leg or use a strap or a towel. We're going to straighten that right leg out to the side. Pull the foot towards the back of the room. Press your left thigh down towards the mat. Two more breaths. And then with control, bring your leg back to center. Ooh, and you can bend your knee, or you can keep your legs straight as you take it all the way across your body for a twist. Stretch the right arm out to the side. Lengthen the right hip forward, stretching through that right waist. Two more. Raise your belly, come back to center. Hug your knees in. Move them around a little bit, side to side in circles. You can probably feel a difference between your right and left sides. And then send your right leg forward. Ooh. Interlacing the fingers beneath the left knee. Take it around the rib cage towards the shoulder. Use your arm strength. Hug it in. left leg and releasing the fingers behind the leg somewhere. And then you can relax in this version. Take the other version. You always want to balance out your right, left side. So do a little sit-up, pull that left leg in even more, and then hover your right leg, stretch your right hand towards that foot. Breathing mindfully. Again, use the low back, press it into the mat, cinching the waistline in, the transverse abdominis and the rectus, multifidus. So muscles of the spine and muscles of the abdomen working together. One more. And relax. Whew. Bend the left knee. Do that little sit-up again. Scoop up the left shin. Bring your hands into prayer if possible. Flex the left foot to protect the knee. Good. Maybe. And then bring your chest and your shin a little closer together. You might take a couple breaths here to allow your body to adjust. And then when you're ready, let your head drop back down to the mat. Loosen your grip if you need to. Keep your left foot flexed. Couple more deep breaths. And then gently release. Scooping up the pinky edge with the hands. And then opening up that knee joint as you bring your foot towards your face. And then maybe you start to bring your face towards your foot. Again, using the low back, the roundness there, and the abdominals to bring that contact. Working towards getting the arm under the leg. Pushing the arm into that leg helps to open the hip. Keep breathing. Last one. And gently release. Oh. Happy baby, half happy baby. So the heel is lined up over the knee, the right thigh is pressing down into the floor. Using your arm strength to pull that knee down, open the hip. So then press your right hamstrings down. Yeah, flex that right foot. You want to stay nice and rooted through your right side. When you're ready, you might need a strap or towel, or just take your hand to your leg rather than your foot. Open the leg out to the side. Pull the foot towards the back of the room. Control, bring your leg back to center. You can bend your leg if you like. Take it all the way over for a twist. Stretch your left hand out and over. Send your left hip forward, lengthen the left waist. Take a couple deep breaths. your legs, squeeze everything in, take a couple deep breaths. And gently release into your corpse pose. Maybe placing something underneath your knees to make your low back more comfortable. Arms at your sides, palms face up. Shoulders tucked underneath you. Eyes closed. Chin comes a little closer to the chest. Your breath is natural. Face relaxed. Jaw heavy. Teeth heavy. Tongue heavy. Soften your neck, shoulders. And feel that peace and heaviness washing over and through your body. Feel your inner light. See it growing brighter and bigger, expanding beyond the borders of your body. And feel your connection to all things. Release your thoughts. Deepen your breath. Start to bring awareness back into the body. When you're ready, stretch your hands back and your toes forward. Then bend your knees. Gently roll it to your right. Go ahead, eyes closed. Come on up to seated. Sitting up straight. Chin tucked slightly. Bring the hands together with the heart. Honoring yourself and each other. Namaste.
Namaste.